Software as a service is dead, or at least that's what the headlines want you to believe. In the first week of February, we saw a literal SaaS-pocalypse. Over $1 trillion in market cap evaporated in 7 days. The narrative? AI agents are coming for the seat-based model. Vibe coding is going to let every startup replicate Adobe's moat, and the old guard is the next blockbuster video. But while the market is screaming sell, I'm looking at something else. I'm looking at the valuation gap. Adobe is being priced as if its creative moat is gone. Yet it just closed 2025 with record cash flows and a free cash flow margin near the mid 40s. Salesforce is being treated like a legacy zombie, while its cash flow just grew over 30% year over year. Intuit is being dumped despite a wide moat ecosystem that just guided for double-digit growth in 2026. I'm personally not buying these tickers today. The narrative erosion has pushed the safety component of my audit to a level I'm just not comfortable with yet. But, and this is a big but, for those of you with higher risk tolerances and a 5-year horizon, we are entering the blood in the streets phase. If these companies can pivot their sentiment, the payoff for the brave could be massive. Today, I want to go beyond the headlines. We're going to perform an audit to see if these are falling knives or the greatest buying opportunity in the market right now. The sector setup is a classic case of narrative front-running. The market is betting that AI agents will replace the need for software interfaces. If an AI can just do the accounting or create the marketing asset, why do you need to pay for 1,000 seats of Intuit or Adobe? However, the economic reality often moves slower than the fear. Enterprises still spend hundreds of millions of dollars on core SaaS workflows in 2025. The death of SaaS narrative assumes that these companies will simply sit still while AI eats them. But as we'll see in this audit, these companies aren't just sitting. They are arming themselves with the very tech that is supposed to kill them. First, let's look at Adobe's profitability. Adobe is a cash flow monster. For the 12 months ending late 2025, they generated nearly $10 billion in free cash flow. Their free cash flow margin is an elite 42%. That is a quality characteristic that usually commands a massive premium. As for their growth, revenue grew 11% in 2025, reaching nearly $24 billion. They are guiding for another 10% growth in 2026. The growth appears to be sustainable, but it's the perception of the future growth that is the problem. Finally, the safety. This is where the thesis cracks. Adobe's debt-to-equity ratio climbed to over 55% in late 2025, a 5-year high. While their interest coverage is still fine, the safety score in my framework is dragged down by the high volatility of its valuation and the competitive threat from AI native players like Midjourney and OpenAI. Next, let's look at the profitability of Salesforce. Salesforce has finally learned how to be profitable. They're returning massive cash to their shareholders through their first ever dividends and buybacks. 2025 free cash flow grew 30% to over $12 billion. Growth-wise, their revenue growth has slowed to around the high single digits. Safety-wise, this is their strongest suit. Salesforce has a debt-to-equity ratio of just 14%. They have more cash than total debt. From a balance sheet perspective, CRM is a fortress. Now, we move on to Intuit's profitability. Intuit's return on equity remains elite, recently topping 20%. Free cash flow grew 31% in 2025 to over $6 billion. Growth-wise, they are guiding for double-digit revenue growth in 2026. As for safety, debt to equity is roughly 32%. Their safety is actually bolstered by a switching cost moat that is legendary. It is incredibly painful for a business to move its entire accounting and tax ecosystem. I personally can attest to this one. Now, stop looking at the stock for 30 seconds. Imagine if you had a private business that generated $10 billion in cash flow every year and had no risk of bankruptcy, and its customers were just contractually obligated to pay you every month. Would you call that a dying business? The market is currently pricing these companies based on what might happen in 2030, while ignoring the cash they are printing in 2026. This is the definition of a valuation dislocation. But, and here's the garbage warning, if the per-seat pricing model actually collapses, these cash flows won't just dip, they will crater. One of the hardest lessons in investing is that quality is not a fixed state. A company can be high quality today and junk tomorrow if its management fails to adapt. High quality stocks tend to be safer and earn higher returns over time, but the price of that quality varies. During the internet bubble, the price of quality was actually low because everyone else was buying all the junk. Today, we're seeing the opposite. The market is so afraid of the AI disruption that it is starting to price quality SaaS companies as if they are junk. When the price of quality is low, it historically predicts high future returns. The question you have to ask yourself is this a temporary discount on quality? Or is the quality itself disappearing? Let's take a look at some competitors. For Adobe, you need to look at Microsoft and Canva. Adobe is being squeezed. Microsoft is integrating AI copilots into everything, and Canva is eating the low-end creative market. Adobe's response? Firefly. They are trying to move from a tool that you use to a platform that creates for you. For Salesforce, we look at HubSpot and Dynamics. HubSpot is the quality threat for small teams. It's easier to use and it's cheaper. Microsoft Dynamics is the threat for large enterprises, already in the Azure ecosystem. Salesforce is betting its entire future on Agentforce, the idea that AI agents will live inside your CRM, not replace it. So what could bury these companies? 2 words: model disruption. The entire SaaS industry is built on a per-seat pricing. You pay for every employee who uses the software. If AI makes one employee as productive as 10, companies will buy fewer seats. If that happens, revenue doesn't just slow down, it shrinks. If Adobe and Salesforce can't successfully transition into consumption-based or outcome-based pricing, their elite cash flows will evaporate. The safety score would go to near zero, and these would become zombie companies carrying high debt from past acquisitions while their core engines died. Now for the verdicts. For Adobe, I'm avoiding this one. The debt-to-equity peak and the intense competitive pressure on their core creative cloud makes me nervous. I want to see how their agentic tools actually perform in the wild before I even consider stepping in. For a personal price target, if I was going to buy, I would look around 250. That's where the valuation starts to match the risk a little bit. For Salesforce, the balance sheet is solid. They have the safety that Adobe lacks. If they can prove that Agentforce adds real value, I think there might be a buy at this current price. For Intuit, of the 3, Intuit has the stickiest business. Tax and accounting are not discretionary. Their guidance is the strongest, and if you have the stomach for volatility, this might be the one. It has the strongest fundamentals. Current price is as good as any, but be ready for volatility. Over the next 5 years, I expect the SaaS sector to undergo a massive re-rating. For the bull case, they successfully pivot to AI agents, they replace seat-based pricing with value-based pricing, and outperform the S&P 500 by double digits. For the bear case, they become the IBM of software. Stable, but slow growing, underperforming the S&P 500 as AI native startups eat their lunch. My bet, at least one of these 3 will be 50% lower in 5 years, and one might be 200% higher. The data says they are quality, but the narrative says they are junk. History tells me that the data usually wins out, but only if the business engine stays intact. Again, I'm staying out of this one. I don't have the stomach for it. But if you don't mind volatility, there is a case to be made for some of these stocks. As always, thanks for watching. If you want to know what I am buying right now, please check out the video right above me, and we'll catch you in the next one.